once again, we are reminded that the Tomb Raider IP is in the worst hands imaginable with Crystal Dynamics, because today they have revealed the most woke tabletop RPG experience you can imagine. Just fire them and give the IP to Aspire, who absolutely nailed it with the remasters, please. But let me just show you guys what I'm talking about, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, you're exaggerating. This isn't woke, blah, blah, blah. So here I made this tweet about this. I said, Crystal Dynamics have turned Tomb Raider into a joke. This should not have the Tomb Raider brand or Lara Croft attached to it. Why would you make a tabletop RPG for it anyway? Lara Croft is a loner. I'll just stick with the classic stuff from Aspire. So here you have the cover, which we will investigate more in great detail. This is Shadows of Truth, a role-playing adventures in the world of Lara Croft. Okay, well, at least Lara Croft don't look like a dude here, right? I mean, she doesn't exactly give that Lara Croft vibe. This is cute girl with guns, but I digress. It's an improvement over Mancroft we've seen lately. But let's take a closer look, shall we? These are among some of her companions, and I'm hoping, like, they're already working on an animated like Netflix thing that looks stupid. If these characters are in it, I will laugh. Let's just hope this is only in the tabletop game, even though I don't have hope for the Netflix thing anyway. But upon closer look, here we have this fat black girl with a side shave. And yes, the colored hair. I know I have colored hair too. I don't have much to speak on that. But at least I try to look feminine and cute. I attempt it. But in this case, it's just like, I feel bad for black girls in this current woke climate, because all of their representation almost is ugly. Okay, so they want to talk so much. These companies want to talk so much about representation's important. Representation's important. Well, then why do you got to make the black girl fat and ugly and them looking? And not only that, but she ain't got no legs. As someone stated in the comments, they're like, those things, those prosthetics, ain't no way that's supporting her 250-pound frame while she's got a compound bow, which is also heavy, and she's navigating through the jungle or whatever adventure with that. I don't think so. I mean, first of all, she would be winded because she's fat. That's already bad enough. But the legs, it's like, oh, ESG money. Let's see how much we can get. Not only that, but also upon further investigation. Now, we do see some recognizable. You got Jonah here. I think his voice actor is a really awesome dude, so I hate to even talk bad about this character, but I just don't like Jonah as a character in the Tomb Raider universe. He was put there to babysit Lara Croft and call her little bird. Little bird. Lara Croft isn't a little bird. Are you kidding me? This ain't little bird. She's a beast. Okay, and then you got Amanda Evert here, who, she wasn't a bad character. Like, I'm not a fan of what Crystal Dynamics has done in general. I think the Legend, Anniversary, and Underworld trilogy really babied down Tomb Raider and also changed so much about Lara Croft, her backstory, her personality, all that. I mean, Lara Croft was a character who was a loner and described as such in the classic games. So it doesn't make sense to give her companions all the time. You know, in the classics, she every once in a while would run into someone, but it wasn't a common occurrence. But for some reason, Crystal Dynamics just wants to give her companions constantly. Okay, now let's dive into the elephant in the room here. Does this look trans to you? That looks like a dude. You can't tell me that's not a dude. And I'll show you within closer investigation. Tell me that ain't a dude. This is a dude. That's a man. Now, I have this reply here from Oxygen Jotl says it's far worse if you know what else the company has done. Evil Hat Productions is genuinely one of the worst tabletop RPG companies out there. Just take a look at one of their products, which was not done as a joke, by the way. Okay, so these are the people who were hired to make this, which Crystal Dynamics oversaw it, had to approve it, all that kind of stuff, and then hand it off to these people who made this game, unironically, Thirsty Sword Lesbians, or what is this? Let's just read it. Is it a comic? Is it a game? Let's find out. Oh no, I'm gonna cringe so hard trying to read this. All right, a sword duel can end in kissing. A witch can gain her power by helping others find love. And an entire campaign can be built around vagabond matchmakers piloting their sentient gay spaceship from system to system. Even when swords are crossed, they have the potential to connect more deeply than anyone expects. Thirsty Sword Lesbians celebrates the love, power, and existence of queer people. If you love role-playing games and angsty disaster lesbians with swords, you've come to the right place. In this book, you'll find flirting, sword fighting, and zingers in a system designed for both narrative drama and player safety. An innovative take on the Powered by the Apocalypse family of games. 9 character types, each focusing on a particular emotional conflict. Guidance and support for running the game, including how to make appealing adversaries, starting scenario seeds, and multiple campaign settings. Variant rules to highlight different identities, emotional connections, and setting elements. Strategies to adapt to any setting where swords cross. Okay, blah, blah, blah. This sounds extremely gay. This is where we're at. This is who they hired. And once again, they show a black character and they make her fat. Why is that? Like, black women especially, they're hurting for good characters. Because every time you see these black characters, these black female characters, they gotta make them fat and weird looking. I am so fed up with this. It's just embarrassing that Tomb Raider's name is even attached to this. That Lara Croft's name is even attached to this. The iconic, legendary grave robber Lara Croft has to be tied to this stupid queer crap. And that's just where we're at with things. And I am going to say it. Oh, and here we have a comment from somebody goes, did you know your new favorite game was developed by gays, by the way? Talking about how Aspire hired a lot of gay people from the community. I think they hired excellent, perfect people for the jobs. They're fans of Tomb Raider, and they delivered a perfect experience with the Tomb Raider remasters. I don't care that they're gay. I don't approve of it. I think that, I believe in the Bible. So therefore, homosexual activity is anti-biblical. It's against God's order, and it will send people to hell. So I pray that they will be able to get out of that. But do I not buy a game because of the personal lives of people who are associated with it? Not unless they're a murderer or something. Just in that same vein, promiscuity, being a hoe, fornication, all of that is also listed in the abomination sin with homosexuality. And there's all kinds of promiscuous people who make video games. Hey, just don't insert these ideologies into the games themselves and whatever. I'm not your parent. I can't get all up in your personal business. I can broadly share the gospel of Jesus Christ and encourage people to turn from their sinful ways, but I'm not going to individually track people down and tell them, hey, you shouldn't do this, you shouldn't do that. I think there's a certain degree that I need to not hassle people. So, but that being said, and even speaking of this kind of stuff, what you see with things like this, for example, or all of this inserting queer stuff into everything, all of this LGBT 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all this millions of words, letters they keep adding to it. All of this stuff is, first of all, not real. And I know people are going to get mad at this, but like the whole concept of sexualities is not real. And if you want me to elaborate on this, it was created to normalize sin, a sickness against God's order. So no, being a lesbian, being gay, being queer, being transgender, those are not real things. Just like kid diddlers, that's not a real thing. That's not a sexuality. None of that is a real thing. It's all sin, and it all goes against God's order. And that's what it is. So they want to try to normalize it when it's not normal. That's not how God designed things. There's nothing normal about it. But because society has been slowly trying to normalize this stuff, it's become so much to where people just think, oh, okay, yeah, that's just their sexuality. Oh, this is their sexuality. And even myself, just passingly, oh, yeah, it's like, wait a minute. No, that's not how it works. So some people might be like, oh, but I'm attracted to the same sex. That's how it is. I can't help it. I was born this way. God made me this way. And it's like, no, God did not make you this way. You might have been born into the struggle with that sin. But that is not your identity, and it shouldn't be your identity, right? So everybody is going to have, I mean, we're born into a sinful world, therefore we're born with temptations into sin. And I can tell you one thing that's going to help you with a lot of these sins, especially sexual immorality, which is all these different genders and trying to change your gender, which is impossible, but I digress. Most of it is from Coomer brain. What is Coomer brain? People addicted to pornography. And people are like, why are you saying pornography? Well, if I say the real word, I'll get demonetized. But you know what I mean. It rhymes with that. People who are addicted to this crap, people who watch this crap fall further and further into degeneracy. And that's what has normalized all this stuff. So it's made things worse. So stop watching porn. It's poison. It's disgusting. It's degenerate. And find Jesus. Purify yourself. We need to be, instead of validating people who are deep in this sin, we need to be praying for them that they can overcome this sickness, because this sin is not their identity. No matter how much society wants to pretend like it and throw parades, put labels, use flags, and celebrate people and validate people as this is just your identity. No, it's not. You make it your identity or you don't. And you should not make sin your identity. Just like alcoholics shouldn't make that alcoholism their identity. Okay? Drug addicts shouldn't make drug addiction their identity. Liars shouldn't make lying their identity. Gluttons shouldn't make gluttony their identity, so on and so forth. So let's call this stuff what it is. It's sin. Let's pray for people that they can overcome it and get out of it. So that's the thing. If someone's like, oh, but I'm gay. I've always been gay. No, you're not. That's a sin and you're stuck in it. Get out of it. That doesn't have to be your identity and it doesn't have to be your future. You can be saved from that. Find Jesus. Call out to Jesus. You might still struggle with overcoming that sin, but Jesus Christ can get you through it. Read the Bible every single day. If you are truly repentant, and you give your heart to Jesus Christ and live for him, and you are in daily fellowship with him in prayer and in the word, even if you just read a chapter every single day, I promise you, you are not going to want to sin. You won't even want to. So anyway, there's that. Turning my video into in a sharing the gospel. I do this sometimes, and I do like to do this. So there you have it for today's video. Thank you all so much for hanging out with me. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And if you want me to read the Bible to you, you can watch my Bible channel at Bible Time with Melanie Mack. And if you want to catch my streams, which I've been playing the Tomb Raider remasters, you can watch me on YouTube, Kick, or Twitch, all at Melanie Mack. Thank you all again. I'll catch you next time. And in the meantime, go boom. Miles Morales.